Okay, so we're going to go through the tutorial for the loft lamp with a base included as well. So we're going to be learning some more advanced processes, how to make more advanced geometry. We won't be making this particular one here, but we'll be making something a little bit more simplified. And we'll also be incorporating some strip LEDs that we've gotten as well. And we'll be going through different printing processes, but I'll be doing that individually with you as well. So different printing process for the outside, we'll do that in vase mode, and then all the other parts will print normally. The expectation with this is that you'd be creative with your own process and develop it in the way that you see fit. We're going to be sketching, relying heavily on making patterns. So we're going to set up a very small line segment and pattern that around a circular shape to make our lampshade. And most of our design will be made using lofts. If we can, we'll go into rendering, material settings, and definitely surface modeling as well. Rendering we might not get to in this one, but I'll show you in another tutorial. So the idea of this is to make a pretty looking lamp. Lamps obviously have the functionality of providing light, but they're doing so in a way that kind of brightens up our environment in more than just luminosity. The lampshade itself will be a single wall print called vase mode, and it should fit into the rest of your design stably as well. We'll also be incorporating LED strip lighting, like I said before. So without further ado, let's go and get into it. Okay, just getting my display up and running. So I'm going to dive straight in. We're going to do our two sketches that I've shown in class before. So we're going to go onto our base plane there, and I'm going to do a construction sketch to kind of shape the rest of the pattern that goes around it. So these measurements are important, particularly the difference between them. So I want 30 millimeters diameter difference between these two circles. So one is at 170, and the second is at 200. Okay, so they are fully constrained to the origin there, and they're construction circles. If they look like this, they're solid, we don't want that. We want construction lines. You can turn any line between construction or solid just by clicking this little toggle switch here. So now I am going to make a couple of straight lines all the way out to the outer circle, again as a construction line. You won't really see the first one there, but you want to click in the middle and come out, and if you press tab, you'll be able to go between the measurement, so it's 100 radius, or the degrees. Here it's measuring from the other side over here all the way to here. I want 10 degrees difference, so I'm going to type in 170. So this one is 20 from that original measurement there. Always remember to press tab. 30, and I'll do one more just in case I need it. It's also possible that I'll need to go in. Just watch out for these ones as well. Sometimes you click and it doesn't register properly. I'm just going to undo that little line that didn't come out properly. Click in the center of the circle, connect to the edge, and then type in the exact degrees that you want. Now what I'm going to do is draw a series of circles, relying on these 10 millimeter increments for my radius. So I'm going to go to solid line, drawing a center circle here to here. I'm going to look for that X to kind of connect. Then what I'm going to do is connect here, and you'll see that that's like a tangential connection between these two circles. So I'll go there. Actually, what I've realized is I need to do a 5-degree increment here. I think that's the issue I need to solve anyway. So I'll do 5 degrees here. So that should be 1, 5, 15. Another one. Oops. 25. And 35. All right, let's see how this goes. That's better. So I want that one there, and then I want to go 10. So it's 10 degrees, 15 degrees, so 15 degrees more, 5, 10, 15. Draw another circle out to here. Okay? And that's really all I need to make this kind of repetitive, circular, wavy pattern. And I just need really the main segment from these 2 circles, but I need this third one to know where to kind of cut it off. So I need that. What I'm going to do here is go to the trim tool and trim out all these little bits of circle that I don't need. And now I need to pick where this pattern repeats. Because I want this to be nice and tidy. So, where did I have it last time? So what I'm going to need to do here is extend this pattern out just a little bit. So it'll be 45 degrees. Draw my next circle. So that's 1, 2, 3, 15 degrees across. And this is where I actually don't need to make this solid at all. That's where I trim out my circle. So I trim out all these other bits that I don't need. I want this repetition to be clean. So here to here, and I trim out all of this circle until I get to this spot here. So what I want this to do is to curve and then meet when I repeat this over the top. I want this to match up. Okay. So what I'm going to do next is select those 2 parts of the line that I've drawn. So control clicking, so I hold down control, click each one, and I'm going to go to create circular pattern. The good news is you only have to do this once. Once you have this sketch, you can repeat it as much as you want. And now what I'm going to do is go up in my repetitions, and there I have 12 repetitions there. Okay. If you use smaller increments for these angles here, so I believe in this one I used increments of 2.5 degrees, but you can see this one, same look, but slightly different result. And that's all you need to do for that particular sketch. Okay, so that's the base shape of our lamp. So what I'm going to do next is run a loft to, I'm going to run a loft to actually make the lampshade shape. So I'm having a bit of trouble clicking on this plane here, but I can also make a new plane based on this one as well. And I want to make this one about 200 millimeters tall, maybe a bit less, but I'll start with that. And I'll sketch onto this surface here. Sorry, critical thing, I forgot. What I want to do is, before I leave this sketch, go in and select it. So while the sketch is active, so you'll see I'm editing this sketch, right-click, edit, select the entire sketch and go Control-C or right-click, copy, okay? Then you go Finish Sketch, then you find your new construction line that you made, your new construction plane, sketch onto that, and then Control-V or right-click Paste. Now I've got two sketches that are exactly the same. I could loft these and they'd look pretty good, but I'm going to go for a bit of a slanted lamp design here. So I'm going to go OK on that positioning, select this all again, and then I'm going to go to Modify, Sketch Scale. I've already got all the entities, which is all the lines and everything in this sketch selected. They are going to scale around the origin here. And I'm going to make that 0.6 or 60% the size. Because it's the same sketch, it'll link up to itself really nicely. So what I do from here, I'm going to switch over to surface mode, okay, because I don't want this to be a solid object. I want this to be a thin lampshade. And you'll see loft here as well. So create loft. What this will do is loft a surface and not a solid. So here, loft, section 1, section 2. Fantastic. The way Fusion tells you this is a surface, meaning like a perfectly thin with no actual volume, gives you this kind of orange tint to it. But making this into a solid object is really easy. All you need to do is actually select the body itself, go back to solid mode, and go create thicken. So with that body selected, I'm going to make that 0.4 millimeters, which is the size of my printer extrusion path when it's actually printing out itself. So I'm going to go 0.4 and hit enter. And if I zoom in here, you'll see body 2 is now a solid, and now that's got a super, super thin 0.4 millimeter thick wall all the way around. That should extrude as one thing, right? So it should just be able to go round and round and round and print really quickly. So that's my lampshade. If I wanted to, I could go in and make a new component out of this. I probably should if I'm modeling the right way. I'll call that lampshade. And I'll even go in and change the physical material to the material I'm planning on printing in. And that's going to be plastic, PETG, or PET plastic. There we go, PET plastic. I'm just going to drag and drop, and that'll turn it into a transparent type color. If I ever wanted to edit that, physical material, you might be able to edit colors over here. Go edit. I might be able to change this to a green color, maybe. There you go. I can actually kind of render it there as well. We do have transparent green PET and transparent red as well. I'm going to leave this as transparent green just so I can see it a bit better. But if it ends up getting in the way and making it harder to see, I'll remove it. Okay, I'll close that. Now I'm going to make the base. This is going to be fairly straightforward. I'm going to use lofting again. And what I want this to be is kind of like, I want it to have a little bit of a bulby base and then go up and interact and touch this other component here. All right, so I'm going to be using straight up circles to do that. So first up, I have to go to my planes and actually sketch this out. So 75 millimeters below. You can make up your own measurements if you want, or you can copy mine. 20 millimeters above, that should be able to come out, and then I'll restrict it here, and then almost to the top. Go there. And then one more on top of this. All right, so my connection point between my base and my lampshade will be about along here, okay? What I'm actually going to do is get the body of the lampshade and the body of the base to interact. They lock into each other really nicely. And I won't have to do really fine sizing. It should work okay for me. Okay, I also can't forget to have a section in the middle that's flat, that's perfectly round and cylindrical, so I can add my light strip to it as well. Okay, so I'm going to go through here and add a series of circles. And I'm going to keep my lamp base there. So I'll make this one 90. I'm just eyeballing this. I'm doing what looks good. So 90 there. I want this to be quite bulbous, this next part. So I'm going to go to my next plane after I finish that sketch. Add a sketch. Make sure I'm in the middle. And these will be the profiles of your shape as you loft it up. So you can kind of, I'll make it 130. That looks about right. Finish that sketch. I'll go up to here. If it's not quite right, each of these I can come back and edit as I go through. And I will have to edit this kind of curved shape after it's made to make my cylindrical part for the lights. So here as well. Make that 50. And this one, I'm going to make sure that it comes out past, well outside the diameter of my lamp. Okay, so see there? I don't want it to be inside here at all. I want it to be well outside. And I'll show you why in a sec. Okay, so now I'm going to run a simple loft function on top of this. This will be a solid loft. So I'll go base, next section, next section. Sometimes you have to kind of angle yourself so you can see the next part. And there we go. I'm going to make this a new component. I'm just going to go straight there to new component. Okay, and if I turn off my lampshade, so if I turn off the view of my lampshade, you'll see the kind of form I've made here. Okay. Now, one thing I can see is maybe that angle might be a little bit high because I want this to all 3D print nicely. You can see some little kind of, I want this to be all smooth and, you know, yeah, I want it to be like a really even curve all the way. So this one, I might need to change the angle there. I'll do it by actually dropping this sketch plane. I'll go OK on this, and then I'll just tweak my planes a little bit. I'll go edit feature. I'll drop that by 20 mil or so. I can also get the very top one and move that up as well. So I'll go edit feature. 25 mil, see how that looks. So what I want to avoid is this being too much of an overhang. All right. Might move this one up just a little bit. All right. See how that looks when it's with my lamp. Cool. Might move these little ones out a bit more. So I'll go edit feature. Another 10 mil there. I'll leave it like that. Okay, now is the time where I'm going to get the central part worked out. So what I'm going to do is actually use the combine function up here to make this work, and I have to do it between the two bodies of each component that I've got here. just going to rename this component, lamp stand. And I'm going to open up these two components here so I can see the bodies of each of them. So I've got body one here, body one here. And I'm going to hit combine and cut. The target body is the thing that I want to cut, and the tool body is the thing that I want to use to make the shape I want to cut. So I want to cut out the lamp base, and the tool body is going to be the lamp shade. Okay, but after this process is run, I want to keep all of the tools involved. Okay, I'm going to go all right on that. And then what we'll see here is I've got two bodies. I've got an inside and an outside body. Okay, so body 2, I want to keep. Body 1, I want to delete. Actually, I don't want to delete. I want to do a special remove. There we go. Okay, and now this is sitting perfectly on the inside of our lamp. Okay, pretty cool. If I print this, I could actually maybe even get away with printing this upside down. Now, I'm almost certain this would work, and it will actually hold the lamp in place. But, you know, it's definitely a new thing that I'm trying here. Now what I want to do finally is a couple of things. I want to make sure that I can actually put my lights on this lampshade. So I want to go around here, sketch onto this middle part, and I want to actually like carve like a square chunk almost out of this side. I'll pick one side to do a chamfer out of, because remember I have to 3D print this, so I have to do it in a way that's sympathetic to the 3D printing process. Looking at this, it seems like it might actually be best printed upside down, so I might put a chamfer here and then straight here to here. So something like that. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'll do a corner. I'll make it 100 high and 25 across. Good. I'll put a 45-degree angle on this as well. 135, I believe it is. Cool. I'll trim out the bits I don't want, that one and that one. And then I will run, with that sketch, I'll run a revolve. Okay, so I've got my profile selected. The axis I want to select is this one. And that's what it'll do there. So I'm running a cut function revolved around that center part. And my LED strip lighting will wrap around here as much as I can. Okay, so some other things I want to do is maybe remove some material out of here so I can let light through. So I'll sketch onto this one. Draw a circle out to here. I'm using my project function here, so I'm projecting the outside of that cylinder into the middle of my work here, so I know exactly where it is. I can actually use that in this sketch as well. What I'm going to do is repeat a pattern around here. So I have little kind of, you know, slices kind of sticking these two parts of the 3D model together. What I'll actually do is an offset. So I'm going to make this line here a construction line. Then I'm going to offset it. By 2 mils. And I'll do the same here as well in the middle. Offset by this time by -2 mils. Okay, then make each of these solid. These aren't quite meeting the bottom of the circle here, so I will extend them a bit. Go through and make these lines solid, and I should be good to go to repeat that around. There we go. So once that's registering, I can take these lines, select them and go create circular pattern. Select my center there. I'd be able to get away with just 3 of these because I'd be removing all of that material from in there. I could do 5. I could do more if I wanted to. I might go with 6, why not? And then what I'm going to do here is select these internal parts and extrude those through as a cut. So I'll select them again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Extrude. I want to go till I get to this surface pretty much. So I'm going to go extent type distance to object to that plane, and that'll cut all the way through. I'm not the biggest fan of this little lip here, but that material has to be removed anyway. I might try doing a push-pull. Oh, not bad. I might actually see if extrusion works. No, I'll just do a pull this plane back. It's pretty much at the top there. And then finally on here, I'm going to do a chamfer. And I'll be printing this upside down like that. So that's pretty much how our lamp should go, but we also have to think about how we're going to get our power cord into this as well. So here, I'll sketch onto the base. And essentially, I'll just run a little hole going all the way up here and then out. Okay, finish sketch, grab that part, extrude, up. That's where my LED strip will come out. Sketch back onto here. And then I'll use the edge of this little arc here to make my lines out to the side. And I should be just done in time. Finish the sketch. And kind of similar to our phone holder, I'll extrude this up 5 degrees or so, and I'll put a negative 20-degree slant on it or more. And that is pretty much it. Just going to clean that up, and that's it. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll have this up on YouTube soon. See you, Sarah. I'll stand for that out. See ya. See ya. We'll see, edit that out. Make that 0. Okay. Let's pull that out. See ya. That should give enough room for everything to come out. And chamfers on this. Okay, what I might actually do is not this sketch. I'll go at it from a different angle. So let's get under here. We'll project that. I'll project the bottom here as well. And then I'll just make an arc between here and here. Awesome. Trim out the stuff I don't want. Finish sketch. Okay, let's do one little bit on the bottom here. Okay. And tunnel recording. Select that section. Turn it back on again. Then I'm going to do an extrude with that selected with an offset. So under start, I'm going to go to offset. I'm going to offset it to 20, minus 20, minus 15. So I'm just eyeballing a little bit here. Minus 15, minus 10 is a bit too much. Minus 13. That's good. Okay, and then I'll continue this cut out to the side. Again, you don't have to do it like this. You can work out your own way of getting your chord in. This is just the process I've chosen. Nice simple design. And then the idea is that chord will go up into here, wrap around, and there's your lamp. All right. So that is pretty much done. So the lights will go around here. In retrospect, I probably could make this go a little bit higher. So being parametric design, I could actually change that if I wanted to. So that would involve changing this top plane up. I'll go edit feature, move it up a bit more. See how that works, see if it recalculates. If it doesn't work, I can always just redo it. That should work. Try moving the next one down, up a little bit, edit feature. Didn't like that one, but it's like the first one I did. Cool. So hopefully that should just like slot in. We'll see how that goes. I'll have a go at printing it. And yeah, I'll get back to you soon. All right, so let's just go back quickly to our tutorial and just sum up. So we made our lamp, we've made spots for, we've made it 3D printable, and we've made spots to incorporate our lighting as well. So all of our success criteria have been achieved there. Yeah, and thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.